and be like, this is what I do. And then have them kind of write it in a way that is, that does all the marketing thing. So I don't have to do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
like with my ebook, I wrote it and then my partner read it. He's like, oh no, this doesn't read well. And so I explained to him what I'm trying to say, and he's just like, and then he makes it like, and I just give him the pieces and he puts the whole thing together, which is quite nice. But not with the marketing stuff. So I was like, oh, I wonder if you do that.
Well, you did a good job. You did a really good job. You laid it out in the order that they taught you in that like template kind of order.
Right.
And so yeah, so you gotta, I'm glad, when I see a student take what they've learned, and the video is very good at explaining all of that. And then you take it and you actually says, okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, and follow it. That's what you did. So
yeah, my previous one, I took the template from the ClickFunnels, from one of the books, Russell Brunson's book, and there were 13 steps. But my original copy was so long and so full of information, and it's just, and then the wording as well. So I appreciate you adding those words there. So I sent you a 2.0 version. So that was the homework, right? To do 1.0, and then I did that. And so let me know what you think of that second one, and then I'll add the thing for the testimonial, the video testimonial, and the other testimonials on the bottom.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'll look at it when I have more time, and dive into that. So but it looked, it didn't look like you changed that much. Did you change more than what I suggested?
No, I pretty much just changed what you suggested. And then of course I removed the headings. And so it's actually like it would read, I would just have to plug it in a page, and format it accordingly. But so just the course is ready to go and the emails are ready to go. I just need a actual sales copy so my 2 affiliates can start promoting as well.
The kind of tests that I did. Oh, by the way, hi, Cameron.
Hi.
Hi, welcome. So, the test that I do whenever I look at anything is I look at it and I go, okay, what words can I take out that will not take away from the message, but will actually add to the impact.
Right, because this is our week 7 lesson, right? It's like the powerful, the in your face words, and also for me, English is not my first language, so I know a number of words, but not enough in some levels to really, the impact that, like native speakers know those words, be like, oh, but this is, like I know some words are stronger than others, but for a native speaker, they go, but actually this one is more powerful than that one. But to me, it doesn't matter. Like I'm not sure at times, depending on what the word is. So.
I actually have a document that I can upload on WhatsApp for all y'all. If I haven't mentioned this before, but when I was teaching public speaking all those years, is that what I found is that people would only use, I don't know, maybe 10 emotional words. They'd stick to the same 10 words. And then I did some research and found out it's true. Even in our daily lives, we only use a small number of emotional words, when there's thousands. And so I would always encourage all my students to look for some emotional words you don't use very often and start using them, bring them into your vocabulary. But they just wouldn't do it. And so I says, how about if I gave you the words? So I created this document, and it's divided up in the emotion, like a whole list of sad words, a whole list of joyful words, a whole, so they're categorized in what they are. And I even think I have a miscellaneous list for things that don't quite fit in anywhere. So, so I have this document,
Yeah, that would be great.
and it kind of triggers the thought process. And it's, oh, I never thought of that word,
But now that you mentioned that, I actually have a list of, they're called soul words, is for it to be used in counseling sessions when clients are unable to express. They say, I'm angry, but then it's like all these 20 words for anger, to like get really specific to what they're feeling. And so it's and maybe I'll look into those as well.
I'm gonna, my camera, I have a light, but it's not very bright right now. There we go. My sun's starting to go down, so it's getting dark in my room. But yeah, so I'm glad you guys can be flexible with the time change, with my time change. I may have to do this going forward. I actually, maybe not. So if you guys are, and Luke and Nick are okay. Nick never answered me back, so I don't know his situation. Luke, he happens to be right now, he's at a conference or something.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so we should be ending real soon here, and then he'll join us.
I'm actually going overseas at the end of the week, and I'm gone until Christmas.
Okay.
And I'm going to be in Brazil, which I think is 4 or 5 hours ahead of you. So, so 5:30, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it'll be evening for me. I think my phone is being used as a webcam now, so I can't check.
Well, hang on. I think I have Brazil, because I have friends in Brazil. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, actually, I can tell you right now, it's 9:30. Okay, so it'll be
9:30. So right now it's 4 hours, but we have a time change tomorrow, and I don't know if
it'll be 5 hours. So you're going behind 1 hour?
We're going. Okay.
8:30 or 9:30. Okay.
Gosh, I got to think about this. I know our mornings will be darker, so
we've gone forward. You're going backwards.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, I never know until I wake up in the morning and see my clock.
Well, it is what it is.
I just go with the flow.
Like COVID Central. It's not like I'm going to be out partying on Saturday night anyways.
Yeah. So, but I could move it. It looks like I can maybe move it to like 4 o'clock my time.
Okay.
And not have a problem with a conflict that's going on in my life. So it's did I tell you, I don't know if I shared it. I have a little part-time job. And I'm being an instructor in a cosmetology school. That's what I used to do. So what happened is when the pandemic shut down.
What is it?
Cosmetology.
What's that?
Cosmetics.
It's hair.
Okay.
It's teaching hair and skin. It's helping students get their license so that they can do this.
Got it. Thanks for
So it's something I used to do. I thought I'd never do it again. But when the pandemic hit, it shut down. It decimated our industry. It shut down all the schools. A lot of schools went online and Zoom. Can you imagine learning to do hair on a Zoom window? And be good at it. So very hands-on. So it shut everything down. And just this last March, the schools started opening up again. And what happened is the schools opened up, and I didn't know about it then, but the school opened up with like 9 students that transferred over from being online training. And merrily, they went along just fine with one instructor. But then all of a sudden, the semester started at the local college where everybody enrolls. And overnight, they were going to have 32 new students with one instructor. So I got called by a friend of mine saying, hey, this school is having a challenge. Can you help out? Thinking it'd be just temporary until she found someone else, right? That was 2.5 months ago. So I'm still considering it temporary, but I got to tell you, I love doing it. I love the owner. She has a huge heart, and she's in trouble. Her business is in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, not that she doesn't have instructors, but number two is like she doesn't have what we call SOPs. You know what an SOP is? Standard operating procedures.
I don't have SOP.
Every business has to have SOPs. You have to.
I know. Oh, I'm learning the hard way, I'll tell you.
And so she had very little. She had just enough to get by with 10 students. And this is after she's been operating a school for 15 years at another location.
Mm.
And she just transferred over her information from that school to this school. And I'm just like, how are you operating the other school? I don't understand it.
Right.
So she's still struggling with SOP. I brought in all this new stuff because the students were running amok. Can you just imagine students with no structure?
Mm.
There's a little bit of structure in the teaching, but then everything else is like, well, what time do we clock in? Where do we clock in? What do we clock in on? When do we clock out? How long's our break? What time are we supposed to be back? Oh, if you don't have, no, they go scatter. It's like chasing cats, trying to corral cats, chickens, or whatever you want to call it. And we're just like, I've been working my butt off trying to get her these and get this organized. And so, but what happened, I was not supposed to work Saturdays ever, 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 ever. One of her other instructors wanted to quit last week because there was a problem with 2 other students and they threatened to kill her.
Oh.
They were going to take her out and back and strangle her.
Wow.
And we don't have violent students, so I really don't think it was that bad.
Right.
But it scared the bejesus out of this other instructor that is always there on Saturdays. And she says, I can't handle this. I'm out of here. I quit. And so me and the other instructor were like looking at each other like, okay, this means we're coming in on Saturday. And the owner's like, please, please, please. So anyway, we worked it all out. She didn't quit. But the other instructor that we were going to kind of like break the day in half kind of thing, so I could be here on time, she ended up getting really sick. Yesterday she came in, she doesn't have a fever or anything. We thought, oh my COVID, get away, No, she's just exhausted. So I said, okay, I'll take Saturday. So I went in and I stayed till about 3. And then, so going forward, if I stay till 3, because it starts calming down at 3, they close at 5. So it starts calming down, things like get mellow around 3. So if I could leave at 3, then I can be here by 4, online at 4. So that's the possibility I'm looking at.
Okay. Well, I mean, for me, it'll be evening on Saturday. I guess you need to check with the others and see where they're at with that.
I'm easy.
You're good. Okay. So
what time is it for you, Callan? Probably a bit later in the day. Probably better. It's not super.
It's 11:45 at the moment.
Where are you based?
I'm in central New South Wales at the moment. Yeah.
Is Nick in Perth? Is that where he is?
Yeah, he's 2 hours, no, 3 hours because of daylight saving.
Okay.
So he's 3 hours behind me.
Now,
so it'll be 8:45.
Okay.
Speaking of structure.
Yes.
I've been thinking about our calls, and we had, I think, 5 so far because we missed one. And to me, my personal opinion, they're very unstructured. and usually when I host calls and in a lot of courses I've been in, I found it was more beneficial when there was more structure to the call. So usually each person would share their wins and their struggles and whatever they want to help with. And then either I, if I'm teaching, or other facilitators would kind of take notes on what the questions are, because sometimes other people have similar questions, and then, they kind of get answered all in the end.
Right.
So like
Yeah.
say because we're a small group, say,
Mhm.
a 5-10 minute check-in, what's working, what's not working, or, or
Yeah.
whatever, like a few rounds of 5 minutes, and then going, and then I guess I don't really know what the purpose of these live calls are. I guess we're still figuring it out what we're doing, right? Because
Well, the system does have a structure. It does have a structure for me to follow. It even has a PowerPoint for me to go through to show all of you. The PowerPoints are very similar to the video you just saw. So I thought, I'm looking at this and I go, this is kind of redundant. So I didn't want to do that again.
Sure.
For you. And so, but you are right. The structure is that, yes, we all get on the line and we spend a few minutes, saying hi and everything, and then asking what's working, what worked for you. And everybody does that round robin, just like you said. And then we say, okay, so what's not been working? And everybody has their turn.
Right.
So I was thinking about that because the calls are going pretty long, and I kind of need to keep them at an hour, because to not only for my time, but for your time too. I want to respect your time too.
Yeah.
So, so I thought, yeah, this is the time, it's about time that we kind of need to rein it in and have that structure. Yes. So we're on the same page, but yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for hearing me.
Yes. Yes. And so, and it doesn't help us when we have people come in late. That doesn't help us, because then I can get started with you all, and then they're going to come in, and then we got to start kind of all over with them.
Right.
But we're going to have to just do what we can do, because people have lives,
Sure.
and
Well,
everything.
I mean, some courses they say, come on time, because it gets disruptive. This is why we do recordings, right? So people can watch it later, because also it's disrespectful to the people that are on time.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and like I said, this is a beta test, and it's I'm beta testing it too, what's going to work and what's not going to work. And so
for sure.
So going forward, and I can mention that in the chat, in the group chat too, if with Luke and Nick, and see what they're going on. I kind of look at it as, I want to treat you all like you are, paying top dollar, like everybody else is going to be going forward. However, I also understand that you came on pretty much as a favor to me, and through Luke, and also, but I want you to get the benefit out of it. So it's kind of a little bit, I want to be a little bit flexible with you, and more, instead of lowering the boom and saying, be here on time.
Sure. No, I get it.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I sit.
It's all part of the it's all
so Bea, you got a real big win though. You got a real big win by putting your document together and everything. And Callan, what she did is that she put everything in that structure on a Google Doc, and that made it easier. That makes it easier for me. And then she shared it with me. That makes it for me to go in and just read it and put a comment next to the side. That way I'm not messing up your original content. I'm leaving it alone. And I just, I put suggestions in a box to the side. And then she sees it live or immediate or whatever, and then and then she can go from there. So so that works out really, really well on my end. And I think it works on your guys' end too.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, I'm more visual, so when I read something, it's my visual, thing. I can, I actually go into this little zone of, if I were the person first reading this for the first time, how would it make me feel? And that's where I go, and that's where I get my zone of genius turns on. So, yeah. So B is all ready to go. You think? And your next question you had was, where are you going to put the testimonial video?
Yes.
And I suggested that probably, what did I say? Underneath the.
Well, you said the testimonial should go after the investment, and the other one's on the bottom of the page.
A little bit lower, yeah. It's kind of like, until I see the page, and how you've got it laid out, it's where does it make sense to put it? And so that
Right.
makes sense to me if you put it after the invest, because you're talking about what you're going to get if you invest and everything. And then boom, there's a testimonial.
Yeah.
This person invested and now they're talking about it.
Yeah. I haven't created a page yet because I signed up for ConvertKit, which I'm really enjoying for the email
Yeah.
marketing side of things, but their landing pages are quite, it's for very little information. You know, it's like, here, buy my ebook or it's something like that, but it's not, it doesn't have enough space or
Oh,
enough,
yeah.
the way it's laid out, that, you know, there, it's not like drag and drop, but it's, you use whatever templates they have there, and then you can customize different colors and fonts and things like that. But
Yeah.
it's not a drag and drop, which I wasn't aware of when I signed up. And so now I need to, so my partner and I will spend time creating the page in WordPress, but you know, it's a theme that I am not familiar with.
Mhm.
So I need him to help me build that.
Yeah.
So take a few
I
days.
use WordPress and but we use a theme. I was using Thrive Architect for a long time, but my husband found Divi. And so
I was thinking the last time, yeah.
so the last time I created a landing page, I used Divi, which is easier than Thrive. So just to let you know, it's kind of intuitive. It's a little intuitive. It's easier, but yeah, you still need to have someone walk you through it.
Right.
So and then you can unleash the creativity because it's amazing.
Yeah, so you know, doing the whole design from scratch is not my thing. Like I like to do the final touches, you know, like go on Canva and create things or like make things pretty, but the whole creating the structure and the HTML and all that, it's really not.
Oh, I don't even do HTML.
But
I
you know,
don't.
like it's not my thing. Like
Yeah, I don't either.
But the one from the website, the Thinkific, is very basic, and you can't format it, and it doesn't look very good. And that's why I'm going to change it, because it's really, you know, that's all you get.
Right. That's right. Yeah. It doesn't need to be like a fancy web page, but it does need to have more opportunity to put in what you want to put in.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can send you the link. The formatting it's not sexy. Like my friend wants to send a link to her client, and it's just like, oh, that landing page is not very good. I'm like, I know, and that's why I haven't promoted the course yet.
Right.
Again, you know, so I'm relaunching.
Right.
I've promoted to the people that have already bought the course, so I already made 4 sales, which is great. But they don't need the landing page because I already have gone through the course.
Right. Yeah.
But you know, new people, they haven't, you know, they need to read the page, and the way it is right now is not $1 million page, I'll tell you that much.
Okay, well, good. It's good you know that. It's good that you got a plan going forward. So that's good. That's good. So okay, so now let's stay on some structure. Callan, what kind of wins did you have?
I still feel like, as far as everyone else in this group, I'm so far behind because I'm not technically launching anything until next year.
Yeah.
So when Luke's go and jump in this group, I'm like, okay. And it's been super valuable. Like all the actual content's been valuable, and just even listening like to the stuff you guys are talking about and all that.
Yeah.
Because it's all stuff I'm going to be doing. So in a way, that's a win, because it's like when I do launch this thing, I know what I'm doing because I have all this foundation to build off.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, because I can relook at all this stuff and go, all right, well, here's some marketing stuff, here's some copy stuff, and I can put it all together like how we've been putting it together.
Right.
But I'm also like, not at the same level yet. So
yeah,
getting there.
Yeah, it's okay. You're gathering information, and that is the foundation. And I think I can, after these 14 weeks are up, actually 15, we're going to go another one to make sure everybody's got this going good. I'm not sure if I can leave you in there so you can have lifetime access. I never asked that
Yeah.
question. I never asked that question. So
I've taken notes anyway, so I've got it all
okay.
written in my own words.
Okay, good.
So I can look back on that.
Good.
Yeah.
And going forward too, Cal, even a year, you can always reach out to me, you know, a year from now and say, hey, take a look at this. Okay. Just want to leave that open.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, because there'll be things I've still got to narrow down my niche and broad, like, because I'm too broad.
Yeah.
Can say, what exactly do I want to do? Because I'm at a point where I spent the last 3 years essentially building myself a foundation.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, I want to be able to travel a few months a year and like, you know, make, I don't know, whatever, like say 80K and just have flexibility to be able to work when I want to work. And I can do all that now.
Right.
So I've got that foundation where I can go, all right, I can start a business and, you know, it'll be great that it makes money, but I'm not going to be broke if it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to be comfortable while I build it.
Yeah.
Which is good because I can work with the people I want to work with. I can build it how I want to build it.
Yeah.
And whilst I obviously want it to make money, which is important, but I also want it to be very authentic and I want to help a lot of people. So
yes.
that's when I think about my success, it's not the amount of money I make, it's the amount of people I help. And money is a byproduct of that.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not counting going, oh, I need an extra 100K next year. Like that doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it's not it's not a driving force for you. It's not for me either.
Well, I know my lifestyle.
Either, yeah.
Like I know I've done all the math, my dream lifestyle.
Yeah.
As long as I have location independence, it costs about 70 grand.
Right.
That's everything. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Like cool, food, shelter, this, that, holidays. It's about 70 after tax, about 70,000.
But here's the beautiful thing about when we, you know, I was never driven by money or anything. I just wanted to serve people and take care of people. And this is what I'm understanding and being years with Tony Robbins and everything is because if you had more expendable income, yes, you've got the income you need to serve, but the expendable income that you can use, you can help more people if you have more money.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's the important part of it. It gives you way more leverage, way more influence.
Yes, it does. And so, so money's kind of crept up on my values list.
Yeah.
Yeah, making it more important in everything. So it's not the end all be all. We all know that. And everything, but yes, we want to help people, and the more money we have, the more we can help people. So
yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So, but what I love about this program, when you learn all of this foundations, you can use this for any business. This is the fundamentals of foundation of any business. So what you start, stop, or you get stuck somewhere, like businesses will get stuck. So right now you have businesses like Callan, your business is not even at the baby stage. It's not even born yet. You know, maybe it's a thought, but Bea, your business is a baby, and our babies, it needs lots of attention, lots. And then eventually it's going to become a toddler, where it's kind of like, oh, it's thriving, it's growing, but it's still struggling and it still needs a lot. And then what's the next stage? It's a teenager. Businesses grow just like people do. Gets to the teenager and it's like, oh yes, it's doing really good, until the teenager says, I'm in control, you can't tell me what to do. Businesses do that.
I bet.
And that's the struggle. And then your business gets to be an adult. An adult has it all put together, right? It's doing good, it's doing well. Well, actually, it's at that point. The adult is kind of like it's at the top of the mountain, because what comes after adult? It's
but then when it's adult,
get older.
Sense you have to innovate all the time, right? Because a lot of companies, that's why I was nodding no, because my understanding is a lot of adult business they're stagnant because they're established, and
Right.
they don't reinvent themselves, and a lot of them go out of business, like Kodak and Fuji,
Yeah.
Mm,
Because what happens is it gets up to the adult stage where it's at the top of the mountain, right? Because they've been
Yep.
working hard and taking care of it and innovating. Then when they stop innovating, they start going down the other way, and they start aging.
Kodak.
Yes, they start aging. And
Kodak is just the
yeah.
expression now, the Kodak moment, right?
So the question is, when is the best time to sell a business?
probably when it's all grown up.
When it's an adult.
When
it's an adult. It's prospering. It's before it starts going downhill. And then it works for industries too. Some industries just flat out turn into dinosaurs. The whole entire industry disappears. That can happen too.
would. That's a good thing about the coaching industry. It's still young. Like there's a lot of, at least in my mind, it is.
Yeah. Well, I think
like life coaching is like a luxury, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
It's not something most people do.
Yeah, I think it depends what part of the country you're into. So
yeah. I know in Australia there's a culture of not taking advice.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah, I know that's a bit of
I thought life coaching was pretty big in Australia. Well, or self-help or something,
It's getting there. It's getting there, but it's not really, it's very surface self-help.
How about you, Bia, where you're at?
In what way? Sorry.
Is because you're basically coaching, mentoring and coaching. So where you're at, is it acceptable?
Well, this is the thing though. In New Zealand, online coaching for the work I do, like sexuality online coaching, is not very popular because the culture here is very repressed. So I don't, and to be fair, I don't have many clients. Like I'm a starving coach because I was sick for 2 years and I used to do in-person work, and the online thing hasn't worked for me yet because also I haven't had the health to put the time and energy. As you said, my business is a baby, so I haven't had the consistency, the energy to do that. And in the last few months that I've been getting better, and and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. But to answer your question, I get clients from the US.
Yeah.
Because in New Zealand is, and plus it's expensive for them here, and they like, but so I charge $150 for 1 hour, which is reasonably cheap for the work I do,
right?
Which is $220 New Zealand dollars, which is the same price you would pay for an escort for sex work. And so people, they're like, oh, I'm just going to go get sex. I'm like, yeah, but they're not therapists, and so I'm the bridge between a sex worker and a therapist because I've been both.
Right.
Yeah, so sex workers are not therapists, and therapists haven't been sex workers for the most part. Maybe 0.001% of them have. And so here's a bit weird, because they like in-person work. And so when COVID hit, it was slightly better. So I get inquiries, but I don't close the deal because it's just a cultural thing. And that's what Luke was talking about in previous calls, that he also struggles with the Kiwis, and he gets people from overseas because we're like too advanced or too progressive for New Zealanders.
Right. Makes total sense.
So I am not interested in catering to the New Zealand market. And this is why my prices are in US dollars. And this is why I am also here, because you are not based in New Zealand, and I would want to pick your brains on American market and, on international market, which is not, outside New Zealand. Yeah. So this was another thing for me joining this group, because I grew up in the States and I have a bit of American in me. And so it's easier for me to relate to you than it is to relate to a coach here, that hasn't lived elsewhere, that is very Kiwi, and my, I don't even know if I'm going to be in New Zealand forever. So therefore I much rather have my online business, like Callum was saying, like location independent, online, you can, just
Yeah.
hop in, do the call, doesn't matter where you are. I'm going to be away for 2
Right.
months, and, I can still take calls and I can still promote my course and do these things. But New Zealanders are really, there's not much money in New Zealand as well. Like Australians make more money, and they're a little bit more open-minded to pay for coaching.
Mhm.
But
Mm.
here it's still very, like the
Right.
culture, you don't spend money on yourself unless you're really in the shits, and then it's like either you do it or you die, kind of thing, like.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it speaks to too, it's like there's, a lot of businesses that are brick and mortar. We do ask the question for brick and mortar stores. We ask, because they're not doing well. And we're just like, would it be possible to relocate to an area that your niche or whatever you're doing is going to do well? Like, can you sell air conditioners? If you're an air conditioning company, can you sell those in the dead of winter in, North Dakota? It's like going to be hard. So can you would you be willing to relocate, or pivot into doing something like air conditioning and heating? I know here in Southern California, we do have, all our companies are air conditioning and heating. They swap depending on what time of the year it is. So you got
That
to,
makes sense.
yeah, so you got to
I was
think about
thinking,
where you're at. Yeah.
I was thinking of Japan, because I was thinking when I was talking last time about potentially being a relationship coach,
Yeah.
I'm thinking in Australia it's saturated and most of them are just like CD pickup artist types where there's not really any empathy. They're just trying to fuck as many girls as possible,
Right.
which is, well, I was like that for a couple of years, but definitely not now. I think you get over that pretty quick.
Mhm.
But that's sort of where it is in Australia. It's just, and then you've got other guys that just want a girlfriend and they struggle. But again, there's a whole culture here of not taking advice. Like I've followed people that are Australian dating coaches, and most of them moved to Europe or the US because there's more of a market for that
Yes.
in Europe and the US.
Yes.
But I was thinking,
Yes.
like, what could I do? And I was thinking Japan. So,
I don't know
just thinking
about Japan. Yeah.
No, because I was thinking in Japan, there is a massive struggle for men as far as relationships. Like it's a huge problem culturally in Japan.
Well, this is what I know about Japan, is that especially the men that are working in Japan, they're working. I don't know about so much about the women, but I do know that they work like 20 hours a day.
It's full on.
Yeah, full on. And so they're sleeping. I see images, they're sleeping on the subway train to get from point A to point B, kind of thing, because their life is like that. They're just trying to get ahead. They're trying to get, their business off and everything like that. So I don't know how they can have a relationship in that.
No, it's full on.
So I don't know, Callan, is that a good place to be a relationship coach?
I don't know. So even for rich people though, there's heaps of rich men in Japan that still struggle.
Yeah.
That are like, they've got bucket loads of money.
Yes.
But they've got no idea how to do any of that because they never learn.
Because they had to work 20 hours.
It.
They had to work 20 hours a day
exactly
to get where they're at.
And they've done that for 10, 20 years and haven't thought about it.
Yeah.
And then maybe they've got girls that are approaching them, but they're approaching them for money and stuff, and they don't know how to screen for that. And they don't know how to tell.
I don't know. My gosh, it sounds like
I don't know.
You may have a good thought there.
So I was thinking Japan.
Yeah. Can you speak the language?
Oh, not much. Not much. I've been there twice, but for karate, because I've done karate for 10 years. So I've been over there a couple of times.
Yeah.
For that, but I've noticed that, like it might be because I'm a foreigner, but whenever I've just dated over there for fun, it's been very simple. But whenever I go to bars and stuff, there's no men approaching women. It just doesn't happen. They're too, like I've even asked Japanese men, like they're looking at a girl and saying you're going to go and talk to her, and they're just too shy to do it. So
wow. Yeah, you just need to get yourself an interpreter and go for it.
Yeah. So I thought this may be a market there.
Yeah.
Because there's some Japan's a very interesting culture for that stuff.
That's
so different though.
Yeah, that's a thought.
Yeah, because I was thinking if I was going to be a relationship coach, I wouldn't want to do that here.
Yeah. Bia, you haven't
Yeah.
thought about going to Japan for what you do?
Girl, let me tell you something. Once I market this thing right, like, so I've worked as an escort, right? So I
Yeah.
can tell you most men can't last for as long as they like. Like I've had, when I was doing in-person work,
Yeah.
I got so many clients that wanted to overcome premature ejaculation.
Yes.
And that's only in New Zealand, but because it was in person, right? So I've worked with hundreds of them here. And this is why I want to go in the US, because I mean, there are like 100 million men there. I mean,
Yeah.
no school for this stuff, people are just
Right.
winging it. And then the older they get, once they reach the 45 mark, midlife crisis, quote unquote,
Yeah.
it's when the shit hits the fan, it's like,
Right.
wow, like, especially because, the hormones change and blah, blah, blah. And, so I know because I've worked with hundreds of them already. So I don't need to go to Japan. I just
You
need
don't.
to
Yeah, you don't.
and then I
Yeah.
will be booked for
Yeah.
months
And you're gonna
of-
and you're gonna market on Twitter. Is that what you said?
Yes, but I
Yeah.
need, so I had a chat to Luke last week, and I don't have a strategy. So I talked to Luke about what my needs are. He's like, you need a babysitter for your business. I'm like, maybe that's what I need, but I would like to have like a strategy, like
Yes.
social media strategy. This
Yes.
is what we're doing. Like now
Yeah.
I'm going to promote my course and so I'm working on two projects at the same time, right? And I'm going to launch them around the same time. So I would like help or need help on how to market this in a way that has that, the curiosity, the email sequence, hey, and not just like, here, buy from me,
Right.
without building that,
Right.
the anticipation, but also the trust. So all the people in my list, 95% of them have either worked with me in a workshop or in person, one-on-one, or have contacted me for a discovery call. So and a few people just from the website that I don't know who they are. So I don't really have these random people, so everybody at least either have spoken to me or know who I am.
Okay.
So I
Good.
have that already. Yeah.
Good.
But moving forward, I won't, because that will be on the landing page, and then random people will download whatever I have and they'll be added to the list. And so, it would be great if I actually get that. I don't know if strategy is the right word, but you follow what I'm trying to say?
Yes. Yes. I know that. I know what you're talking about. And there's a combination of strategy and automation that needs to happen.
Right. But also having the, so like say, this is what we're doing. I'm launching the course and there will be so many emails and this is how the emails will go. And then the social media campaign, the types of posts and how many, and to have that consistency. And this is why, so I've been in business because I had another business before, which was the in-person work.
Yeah.
And and that's how I got cash, like I used to get paid cash all the time, but now I physically am unable to do that work.
Right.
Also, I live in a small town in New Zealand, so there's no way I'm doing that here, and I'm not going to be traveling back and forth and getting a physical space.
Right.
So this business that I've been trying to build this for 5 years, but I wasn't very invested in the coaching until pretty much earlier this year, because I've had random clients here and there, but then, my health didn't allow me to do that.
Right.
And then I'll post and I'll be like so inspired. And, we talked about structures and I didn't have it, I'll be like, oh, I feel inspired today. And then I'll just go online and I'll write my post. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, what am I going to say tomorrow? And then I'll go quiet for like 2 weeks, and I understand that in order to be visible, you have to be innovating and you have to be like reminding them that you exist and you have to add value in all those things, which I haven't been able to do for a variety of reasons. Also because I don't have all the skills. Like I'm not, like I'm like jack of all trades, but I suck at most of them. I'm good at what I do, but everything else is a struggle because it's only one person. This is why you exist, and this is why Callan exists, and because we're good at one thing, and therefore or a few things, but then just hire the people that have those particular skills, because And a bunch of coaches teach that, like, because your time is valuable. Imagine me trying to learn how to create a marketing campaign. It's going to take me weeks, and the time and energy spent, and I'm not going to be as good as a marketing person.
And Bea, it doesn't have to be that complicated. We think it needs to be because we're taught all this stuff from outside people. Oh, you got to do this. And it doesn't have to be that complicated. But what we really need is we need some automation. We got to set up some automation. I do have a friend that I met when I was in Cancun on my trip. That he's an IT person, and he's one of our coaches, and he has this incredible automation system that he created, and he started to show it to me.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, he has everything under one roof, and he developed this company that does this. So he might be someone for you to talk with, because he can like just so automated, all these pieces that are needed. Like say you sent messages out on Twitter and sent them to the landing page, and then when they sign up for your free report, from that it goes into your list, and then your automation, the list, all that fits in, and then the list, it's like I have automation in my list, so it's a matter of once they get in there, then automation, they get an email, then they get another email, right. And then
but I don't have those. I need those.
You need all those set up. So he's the guy that he's the guy that you pay him a monthly fee, and he takes care of all that. But you no longer have to have all these separate accounts. I don't know if you have this or not, but I have all these separate accounts that I use Zapier to connect them all together. Mm-hmm. And you don't, with his business, I don't have to have any of those.
Yeah, well, I've chosen to go with the different accounts because I try to bundle up, but I noticed that not every, like all the bundles, some of them are strong in one area, but weak in others, and it doesn't fulfill my needs or my business at the moment. And this is why I've chosen the Zapier route for now. Until until I'm more settled, and then it's like, okay, now I know exactly how the business operates and what I need to make it work. But I've tried different platforms, and I've been migrating from MailChimp to this, to Aweber, to ConvertKit, ClickFunnels, and it's just a lot of hassle. And what I'm more interested in is actually the email sequence. What do you send? How, how to write that copy, welcome, thanks for signing up. So like I'm launching a free ebook, right? So that will be here, download your book. And then I'm launching in a few weeks a online course that is the upsell for get a free book, but I know they're not going to recorded, the guided recorded meditations, that are the exercises from the book, and that's the upsell, so hey, how's it going? Thanks for downloading my book. How's it going? But if you're struggling, you may want to try this course with the guided for you.
Well, we're going to go into like the next video. It has to do with also copying, because it's I think so. I think it's I already looked at that. I don't know. Let me go in and look real quick. I think, but
are you in hospital, Luke?
It looks like he's in the hospital.
Yeah, God, I will go for surgery probably today. Yeah, it's fun. Not me, you guys. Yes, I'm in hospital, Auckland Hospital. Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
Well, you're here, so it's.
Not in hospital. Virtual. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Jenny.
Okay, so I'm looking at the videos coming up next, and 5 key marketing components, part 1 and part 2 and part 3. Destroying your competition. That's going to certainly help with messaging and everything, and then online presentations, and then great media bargains. And then the last one is a content marketing plan. So it looks like going forward, we're going to have some really great tools coming up. Yeah. This is what I know, because I've been studying this for years, and this is bottom line. It all boils down to this: when you're sending out a message, an email. You get people in your email. It's like, it has to be story based. Like you start it out like a story, the first line or two, a story. There I was walking my dog when all of a sudden I noticed, blah, blah, blah,
Right.
it's a piece of they want to know you in a piece of your life, almost like you're doing a video, or something.
Yeah.
And then, and then you give them a little piece of something that's going to make them emotionally connected to you. Whether it could be could be something dramatic happen, good or bad. It's like, oh my God, this happened. And it could be you have to pull on their heartstrings. You have to pull on their emotional heartstrings. And
Right.
it's like, make them feel sad, make them feel joy.
Mm-hmm.
And when you take them on this, but we call it the roller coaster ride. It's a roller coaster ride. People love roller coaster rides of emotion. Every movie and TV show or whatever on the planet, you know that? And then, so you get them addicted to this. It's kind of like they never know what to expect from you every time they open your email.
Mm-hmm.
They never know.
Right.
And you got to start with a subject line. It's got to be something unique and something out of this world kind of thing. So, so you can start collecting subject lines right now that, that made your eyes pop or make you, say, oh my God, that's a great subject line kind of thing. And then you got to tell the story, a little bit of story. And then, so basically the formula is, if you send out 7 emails that are story based, a little bit about your life, and then the 8th one, you give them an offer. Here's your offer. One-time deal. And maybe you wrap it around the holidays. Like if you map out a calendar,
right,
and what the holidays are.
That's what I'm trying to do, because I know there will be Black Friday and Cyber Monday and then Christmas and all that, and so that's why I'm asking, because I would, and also I'm traveling, so I'm going to have a lot of airport time, that I could be working doing this and so I have, because my tendency in the past has been, not because I didn't have an email automation, like a system, right? So I would copy paste from a spreadsheet to Google.
Yeah.
And, and I'll be like, hey, this is what I'm up to. This is what I'm teaching. Here's my offer. That's it. So not just dropping emails, because I've never had the strategy or the, because also my brain doesn't work the same way most people do. Like I am very a lot of the things that they teach in marketing puts me off. And this is why people I work with before, I haven't been able to follow through with the teachings, because I'm obviously not my ideal customer, because I'm like repulsed by
oh my God. And once we learn the strategies of marketing, we see we see it. And we're just like, oh my God, that's blatantly in your face or whatever. But the thing is, they don't see that, because they don't know what we know.
Exactly. And that's part of the reason why I haven't moved forward, because of that. And we had this conversation on our one-on-one before I joined the course, and so that's why, and now I'm understanding that I see it as a game, like if I want to win the game, I got to play the game, And the same like with COVID and restrictions. I'm like, I'm playing the COVID game, I'm just going with whatever I'm told to do. I'm not going to be like rebelling, because I want to get in my way at the end of the day. And that I had to learn the hard way that I have to play the marketing game. Like the social media, some people in my industry, it's like their life is like Big Brother, like every day they drop a, and I'm like, I don't want my life to be a fucking soap opera. I mean, I have a great life, don't get me wrong, but I want to keep parts of especially with my partner. My partner is a very private person. I'm not, but I can't bring our, I can drop little bits and pieces from our.
And you don't have to.
I know, but that's why I haven't done it, because I don't want to be like that. But that works. People love drama and they love the suspense, and I'm just like, just give it to me, and or otherwise I'm not interested. If you're gonna be like, and here, oh come on, doggy, here, and
and then and sometimes you have to just be creative with the drama that we that we can create in the moment. It's like there was times when I did a little bit of video marketing and I just went down to the beach, or you can go outside anywhere, and I just went down to the beach and I shot a little video of the birds that were doing, and I'd be like, oh my God, the birds are coming, kind of thing at me. And just that tiny little piece of, it's like, oh, the birds are chasing me and you start running kind of thing. Then it makes it funny, it makes it silly. People get invested emotionally in you, just little things like that. I don't want people in my home. I don't want to do videos of anything in my home. This is my home and I don't want to do this. So I haven't done anything recently, but yeah, I kind of used to do things like that. I would have my dog. People love dogs and cats. So if you have a dog or a cat anywhere, find one. It's like, do something with a dog or a cat or something, or a baby, but yeah, it's almost like, oh, wow, this could be fun for somebody. Go take your camera on a roller coaster ride, It's like,
I actually recorded my friend's cat here, like in my van. There's a little curtain with a bungee cord, and the cat is just kind of going like that on the bungee cord. And I posted a video. I was like, oh, even cats love self-pleasuring,
yes.
because it's like going like that. And I found this video the other day, and now that you mentioned this, I could totally do something with that clip.
Exactly. So yeah, just have fun with it. But there is a pattern though. And then so and that email after you give the offer, then you got to follow it up with emails, where this ends at this date, it's a special, blah blah blah. You got to do that salesy thing, and people will respond to time is running out. Yeah, I did that. The people that have attended the course, I've given them a special price. They've already bought from me, and I said until the 10th of November. So I had 4 people so far. Okay, good. Offer, and then I'm going to send a follow-up email. But like 24 hours, 48 hours before the end. Hey, Lucas, are those people talking there? I'm going to mute you if you're for now. Yeah, there wasn't people in your background, Luke, talking, so I muted.
Do you think there's a better social media platform for like retaining or like keeping an original audience? Because I was doing it on YouTube. I just started throwing stuff up on YouTube. Yeah. But it seems with YouTube that it's so saturated that there's just no traction for anything I make. Well, the thing about even YouTube, when I tag and do everything properly. So is it better to build? Yeah, the thing of every business that can find a niche in one of those or all of them. But the thing about YouTube, I was told, is that you can it's okay, I can't remember what it's called. You can target market easier on YouTube because every time somebody goes and watches a YouTube gathers that information about that person. So you can just, when you go in and maybe start doing ads, and I understood that the ads on YouTube are a lot less expensive than other places, then you can actually zero in and target the exact person that you want to find. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I've been hearing. There's even a program out there that I was part of that you pay for the program. I'm trying to find it right now, that it helps you with, because you have to have the description just perfectly. It has to be searchable words and everything, the titles, the description and everything, and it has to have, and then but this program helps you with that. It helps you with that. And then it also helps you with other things, helps you find people, helps you, and I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. Because I changed my whole point so much, because because you used Spiral Dynamics, didn't you? I think you were talking about that once. Yeah. I was very much thinking second tier when talking about Spiral, when thinking about my coaching brand. And after thinking about that more, I'm like, there's just not enough people in that second tier to market to, which is what I was doing with lifestyle design, because I'm like, that's a very second tier idea to like micro, analyze every little part of your life and look at the whole puzzle. But that's not really something you're doing until you're at yellow, maybe green. Yeah. But probably yellow. Yeah. So I'm like, how am I going to find people wanting to do that? Like, I want to do it, but how many people, like, even if that would help them, how many people are looking for that? And it's not enough to really justify building a business around it. Yeah.
it's like what I explained. It's like you got to go in as like a Trojan horse. You've got to go in and give them what they want.
Exactly.
And then have this spiral dynamic, life design thing inside the Trojan horse and deliver that when they're ready for it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I'm going now, okay, they want to look good. They want to be financially independent and they want to have cool relationships with women and cool friends. And like good connections.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of the things that most guys want. So I've got to come down and market that stuff more. Yeah, more than actual lifestyle design, which is a very, I guess, second tier concept. So that's the current thing I'm like weighing out.
Yeah. I'm still scrolling through to find the name of this program.
Because I think they're the main pain points. Like a guy's out of shape and he wants to be in shape. That's a massive pain point. A guy's doesn't have the kind of relationships he wants, which is another one. And a guy's broke. And they're three things that I think society judges men on. And there's a pressure from society that guys should have all that stuff sorted.
Yeah. And sometimes we have to give a little bit, there's a pyramid kind of thing. I think it's pyramid where you start with a low cost program, $37 program for these guys, especially the guys that don't have money, like a really low $47, $37 program that's real short and sweet. And it kind of gets them in that loop of you're helping them to a point. And then then you kind of leave them hanging and you're just like, wait, I want more.
That's what I'm doing.
That's what you're doing, Bea. Yeah.
$9. Yeah.
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 Something like that. Okay, I found the name of that program. It's called vidIQ.
Oh yeah, I have vidIQ. I've got the free version of it.
Yes. Well, the free version
the thing with YouTube.
Yeah, that's YouTube. Yeah, it helps you with YouTube. So
yeah.
Because
I'm looking at it, I'm going, I think I'm doing everything properly.
Yeah.
Because I studied it for a couple of months.
But the free version doesn't give you much. The free version doesn't give you much. You've got to, if you want more, you've got to pay more. So it's like we lost Luke.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be back.
I did look at, there's a good course. I think it was called Project 24, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Which is like to get whatever it is, but it seemed quite good. It's like some guy and he goes way, way, way into it.
Yeah.
So when I get time, but I'm thinking, is it better to use like Instagram or some other social platform to build, 1,000 followers and then convert them across to YouTube where I can make more long form stuff?
You can use any platform that works for you, but this is what I'm going to repeat over and over and over again. The only thing you really truly own is your list. You don't own, you cannot own Instagram or Facebook or any of these platforms. You can use them as tools, but you don't own them. So you can't put all your business on them. You have to drive them. You use Instagram and Facebook and YouTube to drive them to build your list. You have to do that. Something
then you use the list.
And that's value your list is your value. It's your goal. It's your equity. It's whatever you want to call it in your business.
I haven't thought about lists as much too, because I know what they are from having done this sort of stuff. So I just direct them to a spam account or my email list. They just go straight to a spam email because I don't want to see it. But
you can do that.
I guess a lot of people,
And also too, your emails are going to get sold. You know that. You get it on a list.
Yeah.
Like I buy a pair of shoes and I know my email is going to get sold to another company. All of a sudden I get all these. Lately I've been being spammed like crazy on 3 different emails. It's not just one.
Yeah.
So I specifically have one email that's super old that I use that for anything that, say I need a coupon, but I don't want to get spammed every day with their emails. So I use only that email. It's a Gmail account. So I never, that one doesn't get transferred to my main feed anymore. It's like, if I want to go find it, I can, but I don't see that crap anymore from that email. But now my other emails are getting it. It's like, geez.
Like, I think I've got 5 email addresses to store for different things.
I think I got you beat. I know I have 20.
Yeah, that's insane.
I got you beat.
Just all for
But
different
you know,
things.
it's like every website I have. I think I have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 websites now, and everyone has at least 3 emails because I use support, info, and Johnny. Those are
Yeah,
the 3
true.
I use. So it wasn't my idea. I have an IT guy called the husband that he's like, do you want this? Do you want that? And I go, why not? But now I'm like, oh, why did I do that? So
Oh, sweet.
I'm going to start eliminating some of them because I don't like all the spam either. But I also don't want to miss out on the good stuff that I put in there too. So you got to backtrack.
No.
Okay.
I think there's like 40,000 unread emails or something. It's crazy.
It's crazy. But that's the way the world works.
Yeah,
So you got to jump on board. You
for
when
sure.
you become an entrepreneur, or you can, and play the game, or you can just be an employee the rest of your life and don't play the game.
Yep.
It's your choice.
Yep, they're the options.
My partner said to me, says, oh, it looks like you're going to have to get a part-time job. I'm like, I refuse. Like, I am trying to make it work. Even if,
Right.
some days are long. And also if you could see my wall and my Kanban board and my mind maps and things, and as I complete them, I tick them. So it's nice because some of them have been ticked already. But mate, it's a lot of groundwork and what works and what doesn't. But I'm making progress, but part of me is like, and this part of the reason why I haven't made progress before is because it's like, I want it and I want it now, so I'm going to take the shortcuts and I'm going to leave out, like, I'm just going to tell you buy from me instead of like building that relationship. And so anyways, then the results speak for themselves, right? Like Adrian said in one of the videos, like you can tell the businesses that are doing what they're being instructed to do and the ones that are not.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I'm lucky to like my job, which is good because I think most people don't. But even saying that, it's not my forever thing. But I do enjoy it. It's not a chore to go to work or anything. So I'm lucky there.
Yeah. And so far, so far mine is too. But I know me. I know me. And in a matter of maybe 6 months, I'm going to be like, I'm over this.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I know me. It's like we're the adventurous type of people that don't want to be, held down, and we just want to be able to fly and spread our wings all the time and be creative.
Oh, fully.
And that's
fully.
So yes, the minute you stop getting all your needs met, your 6 basic human needs met, then you begin like, I'm not growing here anymore. I'm not growing here anymore. That's why I'm working my butt off to get this school with their SOPs. I get all that in place, and everybody knows what to do next, because you got a piece of paper that's telling you what to do. And then when the next instructor comes in, I don't even think she has an employee handbook. I'm like, I never got one. I had to learn. My first 2 or 3 weeks was hell, especially when she wasn't there to tell me where something was. So my other instructor, she came in a month after me and she's crying her eyes out saying, I don't know where this is, where that is, and I'm lost and this and that. And I go, welcome to my world. So between the 2 of us, I said, let's make an employee handbook, okay? So we will be working on that soon. Yeah, because I know I won't be there forever. I got to make a good situation so that when I do decide to leave, that the owner, bless her heart, I love her to pieces, that she's not stranded, And the new teacher that comes in won't be stranded.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, so I'm working
you'll have structure.
Yes, that structure. So here's all the answers to everything. Go read it.
I too. I struggle to stick to things, so I change my mind a lot.
Yeah,
I'll do something for a while. There's things I've kept. I think music and karate I've kept through my whole life. Everything else is just gone all over the place.
Yeah.
But they're the 2 things I've done forever and always will.
Yeah.
But they're both near impossible to monetize. So
yes.
Music's possible.
Yes.
But it's a rough road.
Yes. Yes, it is. But it's a
Unless
love.
you write a
So
hit.
this is what I learned.
Oh, it is.
There's lots of things that I love doing. I love creating and making and crafting and all this kind of stuff. I just love that. And there's been times where I turned it into a money making opportunity, right? But then as soon as I have to fill all these orders and mail them out and do all this kind of stuff, then I'm like, okay, I didn't sign up for this. It's no more, it's not fun anymore. It's not fun anymore because there's a deadline and I have to, they're not happy with this and it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I decided that it's one of those things. It's really great to visit Disneyland, but I never want to work there.
Yes.
That's my
Yeah, that's
philosophy.
And
'Cause
part
it
of
was
the
for
reason why I haven't moved forward because they got to that point. It's like, I just want to do what I do and not have to do all the admin and marketing.
But yeah, and I'm with you on that because there's a lot of things I learned when I went to Cancun for those few days because I had all these other coaches in my team and everything saying, I can't believe you don't have a VA. How come you don't have a VA? And my answer is because I haven't been able to find one that's good. But do you know what they did? Oh, I can hook you up with mine. They're very good. They're very good, from the Philippines. They're the best VAs on the planet.
Oh, they would be.
Yeah. And so, and you only have to pay them like $5 an hour.
Yeah, that makes so much
yeah,
sense.
so I've got some connections for VAs. We've got to, the last two videos, including this third one, and another thing I recorded on Camtasia, I promised to send to somebody. It's still sitting on my computer. You notice that? I haven't popped them up yet. I need a VA to do that for me.
Good.
So yes, we need VAs.
I'll put the VA in a few months, please.
Yes, we need some automations. And BA, here's the thing. You don't have to hire them all the time 100%. You just have them do piecemeal stuff here and there. Test them out, and everything. And sometimes you can find VAs on Fiverr, and that's a good place to find VAs.
But I used Fiverr a few years ago, and it was a lot of time to find someone to do what I wanted to do, and then and then some people were good and others weren't. And then to do this automation for my course, I created, so there are 42 lessons, and I needed 47 emails to be set up, right?
Yeah.
And then I just went with the first person I found. We had a chat. I'm like, this is what I want. It's like, yay, I can be done. And then he was a new seller in Fiverr. And
don't do that. Yikes.
Oh, wow, I learned, trust me. And he's like, oh, no, that's additional. This is this. And I'm like, no, mate, this is not what we agree on. And in the end, he delivered, but he didn't even know what he was doing. And, and there were some glitches in there. And I'm like, I just want to find that one person that does ConvertKit, and that will be my techie person for ConvertKit. And then I don't have to worry about it. And then I want to find that copywriter, marketing person, and then they will be my person, so I want to have, I am ready to start assembling my team because I don't have energy to do everything or time to do everything that needs to be done, because also in the past, I either I work a lot and had no life, or I had a life and I wasn't making any money. And so now I have a partner, and and he finishes work at 4:00 and I finish at 5, so I don't allow myself to work after 5 o'clock, which is hard sometimes because like, oh, but I could be doing this instead of having quality time at home, but I know that I'll fall into the trap that a lot of entrepreneurs fall into, and then they end up, they make it, they're thriving, but their personal relationships, whether intimate or friendships, are like they don't have them because they've invested all their time and energy in
it's that working 20 hours a day and sleeping for 4 like the Japanese are doing.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is what'll happen. This will happen. I'm going to contact this my friend that a couple people that have VAs in the Philippines, and I'm going to say, okay, hook me up, and then I'll share it with you. Okay,
sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to contact Javier anyway because of his automation system is right up my alley. So I'll be hooking up with that. But he says he uses a lot of VAs in the Philippines. He's got a team of people, and happy to share.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So we'll pass it on. So in the meantime, though, I'm going to stay with my structure because Bia wants me to. And Luke didn't come back in, so he's probably not feeling well. It almost sounded like he was congested or something. So we'll have to touch base with him and see how he's doing. Send him messages and love and prayers and everything. So so it was good talking to all of you, both of you again, Callan and Bea. And like, Callan, if you want to start writing something up, just put it, like I said, put it in a Google Doc and let me have access to edit so that I can put notes in it if you're up for that.
Not edit,
Comment, yeah.
Share as comment, not as editor, because whatever you do as an editor, you will overwrite what's there.
All I want to do is put a note on, put a
yeah.
note in the box in the
Share
corner.
as, the person that has access can comment.
Yeah.
I use Google Docs all the time.
Yeah.
So it'd be good. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. And then I'll help you out with anything you need. Sometimes the practice of doing it is even though it may not be a fruition for you right now, but the practice of actually doing the exercise will get it into your body so that it's like writing in a journal. When you write something out, all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, your body and your brain and your heart just takes it in and it's there forever. So yeah, sometimes that's what you need to do. All righty. So thank you so much. I will keep you posted about next Saturday. I might be able to move it up to 4 unless you like this hour. Do you like this hour? Or is it too late for you, Callan?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm legit the middle of nowhere. So on the weekends, it's good in a way. It's really boring, but it's good in a way because I've got nothing distracting me.
There you go.
From doing lots of quality work, and it's really good in that way. So
and
I'm not sure if I can join next week.
Yeah, you might be traveling and gone, huh?
No, I will be in LA, but I'll probably be too jet lagged for that.
You're about an hour from me. You're going to be like an hour from me.
I'm going to be in the valley.
It might be 2 hours from me.
North Hollywood. But I'm only there. I get there Friday afternoon and I fly out Monday morning. I'm going to see my partner and his dad. His dad is terminally ill. So
oh, wow. Yeah.
And I'm going to follow to South America.
Okay.
But, so I'm not sure. I may be with family or maybe.
Alrighty.
Yeah. So I can't say if I'm going to be here or not. I'll let you know on the day or the day before.
Okay. But, thank you.
But I'll join.
So is New Zealand open now? Is it?
No.
Okay. Cool.
It's very close.
I need to find those little loopholes. I need a break from Australia.
No,
I can get one.
You need to quarantine for 2 weeks. If you're vaccinated, you do it for 1 week. But the thing is, it's a lottery. Like when my partner applied for quarantine, the government quarantine, there were 2,000 people applying for 2,100 rooms, and he got in. He got in as 1,500, and I was in the line as well, and I was number 6,000. So obviously I didn't get it, but we're gonna share a room, and that's why I'm going, because we don't have to in separate rooms. So and it's cheaper for 2 people. So the second person is cheaper. So the loophole is, well, you would have to apply, but it's still, you have to be double vaxxed to do 1 week, which is half price, $1,500. Or if you're not vaxxed, is $3,100 in 2 weeks in a hotel room with no windows that you can open. So
good fun. I'm nomadic. I've been in Australia for too long. Need to go explore.
Open. But I think coming back to Australia, you would stay in quarantine though, government quarantine or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, no, won't be too long.
Or Brazil.
Yeah.
I think things should open eventually.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
Kiddos.
So still.
All right. Thank you so much, Johnny. I may not see you next week, but I will text you. And we'll be in
It'll
touch.
make it so much easier to market my business too when I can travel, because I can generate a lot of FOMO. It's like, look what I'm doing while you're sitting at your desk.
Perfect. Absolutely.
Because I have 4 months a year I can travel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But you could do this.
Be it while you're traveling. You don't have to post it right away, but save it.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
you could be doing this right now.
Yeah, well, I've been saying I work from home. Like I am on the fake it till you make it. Like I don't make money these days. Like I am super broke, but I act as if, like I work from home, my partner and I work from home, but
Yeah.
I work, I just don't get paid.
Ah.
But the money will come eventually.
Yes.
I think next year I'll
Yeah.
only have 30-hour weeks, 30 weeks a year. So I can just say I'm a professional coach. I don't have to know about that side of it.
Okay.
But yeah, I coach and travel
All
around
right.
and do
Gotta
fun
go.
things.
Gotta go. Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.